Hi all, Prompt here, going to do a bit of a grand finale of the previous videos I've done. I'm going to take everything I've done so far and put it all together into one ultimate video, this one here. So for starters, to begin this dupe, suppression, shadowing exploit thingy, you need to start with a knickknack machine. So I'm using my 1.20.4 client, but I'm connected to a 1.17.1 server. That's important, because the first part of this doesn't work after 1.17.1. It gets harder in 1.18 and way harder in 1.19. So basically, for ease of use, you start here with a knickknack machine, and then you can just update your world after you have the shulker, because the shulker will work up to 1.20.1. So you can use 1.20.1 with that shulker, and it'll work fine. So, without any further ado, let us begin. So I've already got this powered on here. The suppressor is turned off, so I'm just going to punch this trapdoor in, give that a little tap. I think it worked. I'm not sure. Let me just take a sand block here and see if I hear a trapdoor noise. It didn't actually work. That's why we double check, I guess. Okay, so now it's powered off. So punch that in. Okay, now I think it's going. Do we hear the noise? Yeah, so it's suppressing. So now it's suppressing all the way up to here. So we flip this trapdoor, because comparators on trapdoors, when a suppressed signal goes into them, because the try neighbor update thingy that it does, it prevents a crash. Okay, so now what we want to do is, while that's lined up to this lectern, lectern's putting a signal into that comparator, which is suppressed, I should just be able to put a shulker down here in my inventory, break this lectern. Oh yeah, put down the shulker, and then let's make sure it worked. Oh, I can't do the ./data. That's fine. If you right click it and it doesn't open, you won. Boom, it's not opening when I right click it, so that's still a lectern. Now what I do is I go back over to this machine and I turn it off. I try to turn it off. Boom, it's off. Alright, and now what I do is I like to put a lamp here and a lamp here, and put some levers on each one. Lever for you, and then the comparators. So this will be 2 suppression points, one for the dupe, one for the shadowing. So first I'll show what happens when you want to dupe. So right now, the lantern is... There we go. When the light is on, it's not suppressing. When the light is off, it is suppressing. You'll work it out. So while it is not suppressing, I'm not duping. I turn it off. Well, I turn it on, so it is suppressing. And I want to dupe, let's say, this sea lantern. I put the sea lantern there, then I turn the suppressor off, and then I pop out my sea lantern, and you can just repeat this over and over again and just keep duping. That's not shadowing, that's duping. And that's a dupe that, if you have that shulker, will work all the way through 1.20.1 on paper and on vanilla. The next bit doesn't work on paper in 1.19. I didn't test it in paper below 1.19, but in vanilla it does work, and it's really cool, so I've included it. So firstly, we're not suppressing there, so this one's a little bit trickier. So you take your glass water bottles, or any other item, half a stack and a full stack, and you put the full stack up in the furnace, and then you keep your half stack, and I generally just keep it in my hotbar so I can see it. Bring everything down here, and then you gotta fill your inventory so there's no free slots. There we go, presto. And I always like to take one sand block in my hotbar. You'll see why in a moment. So the half stack and a sacrifice block, and we have the full stack up there in the furnace. Now, one thing that's really important, you turn on the suppressor, and then you have to flip this trapdoor to prevent a crash, just like we did over there earlier. So now that it won't crash, I'm going to stand here, and then you see the glass there? Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on that glass, boom, and then I'm going to hold my mouse over this 32. Notice the half stack is now up there. I'm going to press 2 on my keyboard to swap it with our sacrifice blocks. So there's that. So I don't need the full stack anymore for anything. I can get rid of that, to be honest. Don't need it. But the 32 stack, you'll see why that's special in just a moment. So I'm gonna boop, 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 boop. We throw our pearl, and am I wearing an elytra? Probably not, so I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna amalgamate all my sand. Take that. Making sure not to touch those 32 glass bottles, because I don't want to mess this up, because it's the best part. Alright, fireworks. Okay, so we got a pearl there, and when that vanishes from that pressure plate, that will close on our pearl. And over here, that's a chunk loader, so that this chunk won't deload. So let's go for a little fly. Whoop. Just make sure that it's gonna, unload that platform. This is far enough. I'm sure you believe me. Okay, and then shoop. Wireless redstone with the chunk loader. So I can just trigger my pearl at any point as long as I'm in the right dimension, which is pretty awesome. So I don't know if the stack eventually disappears or not, but if it's in my inventory, it should be fine. So I'll leave that for you to work out. So keep in mind, this dupe works up to 1.20.1. So if you started a single player playthrough, 1.17.1, used a knick-knack machine, created that, and then updated, you got it made. And in vanilla, you can even do the item shadowing through 1.20.1. So single player vanilla without mods, you finally have some really powerful, useful exploits in modern Minecraft. I know this has been out for about 10 months, but I've just not seen a video that puts all of this together so quickly and clearly. I hope you like this. Thanks. Bye.